If you only knew the power.
In a previous video I was talking about movement being the main mix-up tool against blocking in the game, and since then I was getting notified that you can increase sensitivity in the game, and now you're a blocking demigod. Now, I'm pretty new to the game, and I think that part of the charm is that I'm kind of evolving, discovering things step by step, and the viewers get track of it. But how do you know? I mean, there is 5 to 7 frame delay in every match, already hard to react. Plus motion blur putting your brains in a dizzy state, making the need for brain to process what is going on after a full turn. Without a read, the mix-up between fake cross-up and a cross-up should be unreactable and enforce the movement game between players. Unless you're force sensitive or something.
He can see things before they happen. That's why he appears to have such quick reflexes. It's a Jedi trait.
Or maybe, let's say you disabled the motion blur and that somehow helps. Aren't you in the risk of headaches because of this smart reason?
I can see my hand, it makes sense. But at a certain point, my hand will move so fast that it's just a blur. And the reason it's a blur is because my eye can only track so fast. And when objects move faster than our eyeballs can track, your brain adds in motion blur. But this becomes a problem with new high-definition programs on big televisions, because some of those programs are brought to your TV at frame rates as high as 1,000 frames a second. And objects like a tennis ball that normally travel so fast our eyes can't track them and they look blurry, don't look blurry because the camera is able to see them clearly. And when you watch that program on TV, you can actually get a headache or get dizzy, so they're having to find ways to add blur back into HD picture.
Just pretend it's about Battlefront 2. Anyway, blur isn't there for a show, it's to protect the brains of slow people like me. Obviously, even if my eyes are able to handle it, I wouldn't risk endangering my health in any way just to play Battlefront 2. I also still have much to understand about this game, but I felt like this is a significant part that was missing from my first video and that kept bugging me ever since because of the comments. That and that I have never really mentioned parries. But anyway, I'm gonna leave you with a gameplay that I think illustrates the problems of this game for me. And because of the way the matches end, it also demonstrates why this game can be so much fun despite being so incomplete, I'd say. I don't know, just watch. Watch and hopefully enjoy my scrub gameplay. Okay, so usually Obi-Wan is the one being defensive, but the way this Maul plays is he's using his special abilities to chip you out little by little. He doesn't fight you. He stays away and he throws his saber, and you can't run at him because he's going to force choke you, so you have to be very patient until he finally makes a mistake, and then you attack. Or parry. That was an opening, by the way, but I was too scrubbed to punish it. It might seem very tedious and cheap, and you might think, oh, this has to be changed, but I actually don't mind trying to find an opening. What I mind is this recovery. Look at this. From 1%, he's gonna go?
This is outrageous. It's unfair.
And it's like my opening doesn't even matter. I'm wasting tons of time trying to find this one opening, do some damage, and then he just recovers it. Force moves, running away, there is definitely some weakness to it that I can find. But when I do hits and find openings and it doesn't even matter, that makes me go dark side. Did you acquire low ground? Only the weak embrace it. Where did he go?
Another happy landing.
You know, they say size doesn't matter, but if Obi-Wan's stamina bar was just a little bit bigger, it might be legal to go gay for it. Just, you only understand it once you have to pick Luke instead. I mean, it's not OP because he can't zone you out like Maul since his force push is easily avoidable and punishable, but just the knowledge that even though you attack a couple of times, you don't have to release the block button, you can just keep it still and be relatively safe, is powerful, at least to me. Another thing that I noticed is that different characters have to cross up at different angle. For instance, if you do a regular cross up with Luke, he will always whiff. This guy should actually get used to this by now, because I was doing it the entirety of the first round, and you can see that he's moving counterclockwise because he knows that I'm wasting my stamina for no reason, and I was kind of counting on it, because with Luke, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can attack and waste all of your stamina, but because you have 2 force pushes, it's always a guess for your opponent. Oh, is he gonna release it now, or is he not gonna release it? But on the other hand, they're both unsafe. A great panic move and a bait move nonetheless. Maybe even... What if I combo them? I don't think that it did as much damage as I thought it would. Kind of wasted them both. You okay? You know what's funny? The exact same thing happened to me in Jedi Fallen Order video. On the other hand, I'm 100% sure that this guy didn't rage quit and he just glitched out. And if it was any other respectable game, or just respectable game, I would say this is a problem, that the game is very glitchy. But in this case, where I'm winning without even winning... Nah, this game is tight!